Good evening, everybody. So glad to have you here with me for Soul Fulfilling. Return to me, return to me with every breath, return and begin with me with every breath. Return to love. Return to love with every breath. Return. Oh, and began with love, with every breath, return. Oh, return to peace, return to peace, with every breath, return. Oh, and began with peace, with every breath, return. Let's sing together. Return to me. Return to me. Return to me with every breath, with every breath, return in and begin with me, begin with me with every breath, return with every breath, return with every breath, with every breath, return. I return. Good evening, everybody. You are dialing in. It's so good to see you. Hi, Rosalind and Yvette and Lonnie, Marilyn, who's on my screen right now. All these beautiful people dialing in. Lisa Michelle, come on in, Dorothy. Yes, yes. When you were at the return. Oh, when I wrote Return to Me, you were there? Oh, wow, Dorothy James. No wonder you sing it so well. Thank you, Vonda Guzman. Oh, they are dialing in. Hey, Life Coach Ade is with me here, with a big smile and a big heart full of love and a big old head full of wisdom. Though I think wisdom is in the liver. But anyway, I welcome Life Coach Ade Mula. Ademola.
Are you going to go for the last name?
Anifa Woshe. Are you kidding?
Look. She's like, I mean, come on now.
Anifa Woshe.
I love the way you say the expression in your face, like Anifa Woshe. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you?
I'm ready to start. I'm ready to start with my Swahili lessons. I don't even know if Swahili. Do you speak Swahili in Nigeria?
No, I don't. Mm-mm. No, we don't. No, we don't. But that's the beauty of being an African American. You bring unity to Africa.
Well,
You know,
what is
sometimes
the
we forget.
what's the what is the most common language besides in Nigeria?
They're so unique that I don't. I mean, English, to be
Okay, I
quite
was gonna
honest.
say you've been a long time since you were home.
Well, actually, but really, that's the kind of like the common language because in Nigeria you have three main languages: Yoruba, which is what I speak, Igbo, and Hausa.
Okay.
And those three languages, well, Igbo and Hausa, I don't understand. I
Well,
mean, they're
Yoruba would have been the answer. That's what I was asking. What was the language that you
okay. Let's
spoke?
try that again. Let's return to me and
Okay.
return to the question. Let's try that again.
Yeah. So what's the language?
Yoruba.
Oh, okay.
That's the common language. That's the only language that matters.
For you, I'm with the Hausa.
Yeah, don't worry about them.
So welcome everybody. We are goofing
Yes.
for a moment, giving everybody a chance to get in.
Mm,
Thank you for singing. Been thinking of my son Brendan, who was 6 when he passed away from cancer in April of this year. Been singing your music. Love you. Rest in peace, baby Brendan. Yes, Sarah. Yes, rest in peace. He's in our hearts tonight. Absolutely. He's in bliss. You know,
yes.
he's in bliss. Yes. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for writing that. And thank you everybody for coming on. Hey, Pearl, looking good. And Tom Briggs, just come on in as we come into this embrace of love and soulful feeling, soulful conversations, and soulful music. And yeah, I got some songs for you tonight. And oh my God, Paul
Yeah, look.
Bodis. Oh my gosh, Dr. Bodis, what's up? Oh, I got friends in the house now. I
And
love
we got to do
you.
a shout out to Gretchen. That's the queen of tagging. She be
She
telling
is
people to
she
come
is
check
the
it out.
queen.
So, yes, the queen. She gets the award. So
She's
we're
moving.
inviting other people to like, share, and tag people and tell them, listen, get a bit of this.
Yes.
Especially the people you're struggling with that you kind of have some issues with. Just say, oh, I'm watching this. You may be interested. Just
Yes.
tell them you may be interested if you don't really get along with them. It's like, oh, check it
Yes.
out. You may like
Well,
it.
hey, I tell you, it's so good to see you, brother Ade, looking so strong and wonderful. And so I hear that you had a beautiful reading, that your reading was such a hit last week that you came back for more.
It's like, let's bring it some more. Let's get some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to just also say, just it's like just grateful for this space. This is a
Yes.
sacred space. This is a healing. We can call it a show, we can call it a podcast, we can call it whatever we want to call it. But for me,
Yes.
it's a sacred space where we all come together to rise, just joining together. And because I say spiritual truth ain't nothing until it becomes a way of life. We can speak it, we can affirm it, but we got to integrate it. And when we
Yes.
integrate it,
Yes.
our presence speaks the words. So, and I think that's the invitation. And here, for me, it really just grounds me. I catch new insights, new awareness. So I'm grateful for this space and everyone that's listening.
Hey.
So yeah, let's do a song and I'll come after that.
You said rising. We're here to rise together. I was like, oh, what about this? I rise in God. I rise in God. Ooh, I rise in God. God is the way to me. All that I am to be, is rising every day in God. I sing of God. Hey, Renee. I sing of God. Ooh, I sing of God, singing its song through me. All that I am is God's I yield to God. I yield. I yield to God. Ooh, I yield to God. For God is all I see. All that I am is God rising as me. I'm yielding every day to God. I'm gonna do the whole song. And when I close my eyes to sleep, I fly in God. I float in God. I grow, I glow in God. I rise in God. Oh, yeah. I rise in God. Ooh, I rise in God. God is the way to me. All that I am to be, is rising every day in God. Well, I'm rising every day in God. I'm rising every day in God. Yeah. Well, I'm rising every day. Rising every day. Rising every day in God. I rise in God. Ade, let's hear that beautiful reading.
Oh yeah, with the piano underneath, that's perfect.
Do you
Woo!
want piano underneath?
Yes, please. Oh, I love that song. Which song don't I love that Ricky birth? So the readings Wednesday 27th is Daily Thoughts from the Hill. Tune in, listen with your heart. The affirmation is I make an attitudinal shift. The answer to all your prayers and issues is an attitudinal shift. The solutions to any and everything you want already exist in the mind of God, which is essentially your mind. When you shift your attitude about how you see the issue you are growing through, you will gain a new thought. Remember, prayer is a shift in consciousness. You just need to shift to see the whole, to see the wholeness of it. It is already done. I live in an attitude of gratitude. I am grateful for what I do have at this moment. I am grateful for the awareness that even though I may not know how this day is going to unfold, I have faith that there is already that there is already divine perfection. I align with this perfection and go about my business of loving what is. Thank you. Faith in me, through me, as me, around me, through the Christ within. And there's a scripture attached to it which says,
Wait,
therefore
wait,
I
wait. Can you give me that last one that you just rolled through too fast? Thank
oh,
you, faith
thank you, faith in me,
in me,
through me,
through me,
as me,
as me,
around me,
around me,
through the Christ within. And
through the
so it
Christ
is.
within. And
Hmm.
so it
And
is.
so it is.
And
Yes.
so it is.
Hmm.
Thank you, faith. Let's say it together. Tell us again.
Thank you, faith in me,
In me,
through me,
through me,
as me,
as me,
around me,
around me,
through the Christ within.
through the Christ within.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Mm,
Thank you. Thank you.
mm.
And what's your scripture?
The scripture is, therefore I say to you, anything you pray for and ask, believe that you will receive it and it will be done for you. Mark 11:24.
Yeah, that's some deep believing though. That is not a lightweight.
You got to do
You
the
know,
work.
yeah, you got to do the work. You got to
Yes.
really. And what is the work? I think this is. What is the work?
What is
You
the work?
know, what
You
is the
know,
work?
there's so many, just now that I'm hearing as you
And that
ask this.
is a beautiful reading, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Written by yours truly. Thank you very
yeah.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. um,
So shy,
I love that you asked that question. What did you say?
so shy.
I am. I'm shy. You see me turning purple? See, black people don't turn red. Which I don't know why people think black people turn red. Well, I turn purple. There's no red for me going on here. But anyway, I digress.
You do. Time to drink tea while he digresses. Everybody,
That's right. This tea right here, mind my own business.
hydrate, homies.
Oh, yes. Yes. I got mine here. But when you ask, what is the work? And what I heard as you asked the question is taking time, spending time with God, with self. And it's so simple. And for me, it's like, I never thought of it that way because I'm always thinking, okay, you got to be self aware. Yes. Read and whatever else we do as our spiritual practice. But taking time to tune into God, that's the
Mm-hmm,
work.
mm-hmm,
That's the work to hear the guidance from within. That's the
mm-hmm.
work. So
Yes.
much so that the work becomes an act of surrender. What do I do now? There are times when I'm interviewing people or working with people, counseling, coaching, and I don't know what next. They're telling me this story, and I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going to go with this. I'm like, okay, God, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to say.
Mm-hmm,
And just allowing that to happen. And for me, I'm so glad you asked that question. This show always brings something up for me.
mm-hmm,
The work is to go within and listen
mm-hmm. Yeah.
and just trust. And that trust, it's an individual thing. And
Yeah.
we gotta, I know you're picking it up here. It's like, okay, I'm
Yeah, but
listening.
see,
Go
I'm
ahead.
working. I'm working, trying not to cut it off. I'm letting him talk because I'm legendary for like jumping in, and I was like, let
Yes.
him,
All
but it's
good.
because what you're saying is so beautiful. I had a conversation with my uncle George just this afternoon,
Mm,
and I love my uncle George. He's 93, and he was having some issues with his feet, with the bottom of his foot, and he's saying that it feels kind of cushiony. It feels like he's walking on a cushion. His other
mm,
foot is fine, but on this foot, it feels like he's kind of walking on a cushion,
mm,
and so it feels like not like it's supporting him.
mm,
So he was saying that he'd gone to the doctor, and the doctor. They were like, you need to see a specialist. And then he gave me these stories about the last time folks were giving him specialists, they would always veer toward amputation of
mm,
his body. And like the last time they gave him like that kind of thing, it was like 11 years ago when he came to California and we hooked it up, right? And
mm,
so that he walks and does everything. But now this issue with circulation is happening. So and he's the kind of guy that really calls for prayer. So he had some other issues, called for prayer. Everything cleared up in his leg. But now with his feet, he's talking, but he's got such joy. And I was like, Uncle George, that joy you have is the healing.
yes.
It is the healing. It's like you're not going to do what they say do. So, why are you going to the hospital? Your feet don't hurt. They don't hurt. So why are you going? And maybe let's just you follow your heart. Whatever you do will be the right thing because your attitude is
Yes.
so glorious. And he was like, I don't know where I got that faith from, but
Mm,
but he says, but I have it where I know I'm going to be all right. And he's already in gratitude. He's already speaking from the triumph of it.
yes.
He's not
Yes.
sticking his head in the sand like it doesn't belong there. There is no sand where my uncle is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's not sticking
Yes.
his head in the sand. There is
Hmm.
no sand.
Yes.
He's here in the grace of the living God,
Mm,
and he speaks from it, and he lives from that. And
yes.
and that helped me. Like I think the work is to get to the place of gratitude. And I know sometimes we want to go to gratitude first because in our culture of so-called new thought, we have all the tools. We have the tools, but we don't necessarily have the seasoning.
Mm, mm,
The seasoning and the time to simmer in it, and
mhm.
the time for it to become
Yes.
what is, like Oswald McCall said, is etched in your brow. Like the things that you love will be etched in your face. They will know what you love. They'll see you,
Yes.
and you will become that. That'll be who you are.
Mm,
So when we return to me, when we return to who we truly are, which is
yes.
what our conversations keep taking us back to, because that's the most important conversation
Yes.
to have to me. It's like,
Hmm.
who are you and who are you really? And it's like, what is it that we said today? It says, what is it that I would be that I am not already?
Hmm.
What is it that I would be that I am not already when I
Hmm.
get to the core of who I am?
Yes.
And so I'm just really thankful for my Uncle George and his joy. And I see him whole and complete, in his body and in himself. And I thank God for this gathering of souls here, all of us together, so that we can remember together. We're just here remembering together,
Yes.
returning to that place together,
Hmm.
celebrating who we are together, celebrating what we bring.
Yes.
We judge ourselves so much, so much. Skip Jennings brought a book by, Skip's got a new book, and it's 31 days of, I don't have your book in front of me, Skip. Now, let me tell you why. This is a Kevin Hart moment. My house is a mess, but they put they're doing some floor work, and so all my furniture and stuff is right here in the B Hood living room, so it looked good right here. But anyway, you know, it's over there. Your book is over there. So, but Skip's book is so beautiful. He put his face on the front of it. So, folks are going to buy the book just because Skip looks good, But Skip ain't just good looking. Skip is very beautiful, a very beautiful being who has trusted his writings and put it out there so that people could access them and know of his work. Hey, Skip, can you be with us next week? Can you be with us next week here on Soul Fulfilling? Since you're in the chat room, you ought to just say
That's right.
yes.
Yep.
What would I be that I am not already? That's jazzy. So Skip will let us know
Yeah,
when he
he's
can.
gonna be here. Whatever he's doing, he's gonna cancel it because this is the only place to be. He's here
This is
every
the
week.
only
So
place
anyway,
to be. And Skip is
yeah. So
here
we already
often.
know. Skip, just send your
He said yes,
information. Yeah,
yes, yes,
exactly. Yes,
three
yes,
yeses.
yes.
Yeah, yes, yes. So
Right?
he'll be with us
Yes,
next week.
yes.
But what impressed me, what inspired me about Skip is Skip
Mm,
accepted himself. It's like
mm,
Skip ain't the first person that's written a book. Lily Doolin has written a book. Several people on this thread have written books. We
mhm,
write books. We do things because this is ours to do.
mhm,
And then we give it to the world. And we go like, hey. Now, sometimes the world goes like, um, this book ain't deep. You didn't do it for that.
mm,
That's not why we brought it to the world. We brought it to the world for what the same reason I brought my music
mm,
to, that meditation CD, that piano
mhm,
compilation that's
mm,
available at rickybyers.org. It's a gift. You don't have to buy it. But I had to accept the way I play the piano. Jeff already had. He
mm,
was like, wow, your playing does so much for me. And I had to look at it. I was like, what? This is a gift. I'm giving it. This is who I am. I play like this. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I can only be Ricky, and just be that. And, if it works for you, fine. If it doesn't, you know, if Skip's book works for you, fine. If it doesn't, that's all right.
mhm,
Find the one that does work for you. But
mhm,
we shouldn't hold back on our gifts, thinking that we're not ready, that our
mm.
poetry isn't good enough. Now, if you just start writing a poem, I'm just going to say you might want to write a few before you begin to call yourself a poet. That's all I'm saying. You know, you
Well,
it's like the word, but even that is my opinion. Even that is my opinion. It's like you do it your way. It's a new
mm,
day. And it's a new day, and the new way is to dig deep, but take the
Mm,
time to simmer,
yeah.
simmer, simmer, and then we can become more of who we are,
Yes.
more of who we are.
Mhm. You're talking about simmering, and I'm like, I want to go back to the seasoning, and I just love that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yes, in New Thought community, we have the tools. Do this, chant this, breathe fire breath. We have all these tools, and they all bring us back to ourselves. And I think sometimes there is the misperception of running to the tools and forgetting that we are the main tool. Well, no, let me say it this way. There are the tools, and then there is that place where God is, and
Mm-hmm.
we are the middle. So in that seasoning, and we allow ourselves to feel the anger, to feel the sadness. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I even think like righteous anger, conscious anger, where you feel it,
Mm-hmm.
not avoiding it. Anger is not negative, it's not positive, it's just emotions. That's all it is. And we can sit with the fear and remembering that there is a joy inside of me. There is a life that's breathing me right now. And no matter
Mm-hmm.
how afraid I get, no matter how angry I get, God's got my back. See, when you
Mm-hmm.
have those kind of conversations, like what is true about me, it allows us to. I'm thinking of a proverb in Nigeria, in Yoruba, but it just came to me when we were talking. I'm thinking, I was initially saying I wasn't going to share it, but so to say in Yoruba is Ikokotoma Jata Ide Agbono. And what that means, well, if I translate it, like in order to enjoy the stew that you're cooking, you have to put it on fire. Everything, the ingredients have to be cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So without that fire of transformation, the food is not cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
that's
it
what
would
a
be
life
raw.
is for. That's what a life is for.
Yes,
That's why
yes,
we get a life.
yes. To be the fire of transformation, to
Yeah.
transform what happened in the past and bring the healing that already exists, to look at what was done and say this is unacceptable, but shine that light, that fire of truth on it, so that even your worst enemy can start to ask themselves for forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
for misperceiving, for thinking that they're separated from me. And that's the work.
Mm-hmm.
And when we spend more time, as we spend time being maybe it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, and just listening. Earlier, I don't think you won't mind me saying this. Earlier, you were listening for what songs to play.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I heard you say, I don't know if you knew, you said it out loud, you said, I have so many songs. And I was in my head like, yes, you do. But you stopped, you closed your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and the song came. If
Mm-hmm.
we just stop, no matter what is going on,
Mm-hmm.
and close the eyes. If you can't, just kind of do it in your mind. It will always come. And
Mm-hmm.
even if you think you made a mistake, God will use it because
Mm-hmm.
nothing is wasted in God. So all those of us in the New Thought community, we got to learn to season in it all so that we come out tasting yummy.
Well, that's what music. That's what art does.
Yes, yes, so true.
Art art allows you to come out of here. Music
Hmm.
in particular, it brings you. Music takes you, between the worlds. It
Hmm.
does. It takes you to another place. It can. It has the
Hmm.
it not all music and not all singers can do it, you
That's
know.
right.
But when you're a minister of rhythm and joy, you
That's
can.
right.
That's what
Yes.
you live to do. That's
Hmm.
what you live to do. Hey, Georgia, slipping in here. Yes. old time, and before there was a number, the Spirit did prevail in a song of ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, the Spirit gently held that song inside of me. So I sing a song of joy, I sing a song of knowing that all is truly well, and that heaven is at hand. And even when I cry that I don't know where I'm going, God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. So I sing a song of joy, I sing of something higher, that all is truly well, and compassion is the plan. Sometimes we may cry that this world is such a liar, but God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. Oh yes, there's a song inside of me. Oh yeah, there's joy, joy inside of me. Oh, feel your joy, feel God's joy inside of you. I don't care what they're telling you at the hospital, there's a song inside of you. Oh, oh yes, it's a vibration of wholeness right now, holding you right now, yeah. There's a song inside of you. Oh, God's prayer is a song inside of you. Oh, yeah. God's prayer for your life. There's a song inside of you. Oh yeah. So I'm taking a look at those places, those spaces, hey, so full of doubt. And you see why? But I'm so beautiful. Why do I tarry with the lies about myself, when the truth, I am made in a holy, holy kind of way. So awesomely made. Hey, Peggy. Song inside of you. There's a prayer inside of you. There's a book inside of you. There's love inside of you. The light's inside of you. Oh yeah. There's a song inside of you. that song inside of me. And you.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude for that place and that space in you and your willingness to allow those words to come through. I find that being on the show with you, I hear those songs differently.
Mm.
I feel like I'm inside the song as opposed to listening to it on my computer. And thank you. Mm.
Yeah. You know, you're welcome. And these are some beautiful remarks that the community is posting up here. And
Mhm.
I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you all. I want you to know I read back through them and learn and just and receive so much. Thank you, Lily. The pain and the joy, making space
Yes.
and holding it all. Lily's got a great book. And what's the name of your book, Lily? Grieving How to Make a Life. She'll put it up again. I can't. I get. She's got a great book, and so does Emily Thoreau. They both wrote incredible books about how to make it through and to live with
Mhm.
grief and live beyond. So
Yeah.
that's Lily Doolin. You can check her out. But I wanted to revisit something that we were talking about earlier a day before we got on, regarding you and sleep and going to sleep
Yes.
and what you found out, sorta. Yeah,
Yes. Well, so I have this habit of staying up late.
giving
Um,
grief meaning.
yes, I have a just kind of step. Anyway, so last night, I was just tired, and I was talking to my lady friend, and I said, I'm tired. She said, go to sleep. I was like, no, I got so many things to do. It was like quarter to 11, and I was like, I got so much to do, and I kept talking, and she was like, so what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you go to sleep? I was like, I've been behind. I'm already behind because I've been rushing and rushing back to keep up with the past 2 weeks. There's so many things that haven't been done. But as I kept talking, I knew that if I shift my attitude and allow myself to actually go to bed, that something's going to happen. And the more I surrendered to it, the more I was feeling like, okay, this is more than me resisting to go to sleep. At first, I was resisting it. And so I went to bed. I finally went to bed around 12:30, which I haven't done in months. I don't know. I mean, I usually take
You go earlier or you go later.
no, I go later,
Okay,
two
okay.
thirty
Yeah,
a.m.,
I just
3.
wanted to clear that up.
Right. Thank you. And actually, I've been going much later for reasons we'll talk about another time. Much later. But yesterday, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months. Now, before the show, I take a nap, but that doesn't really count. But normally I just stay up trying to catch up and keep up. And going to bed early yesterday, I woke up feeling renewed. Like I went through a reset. So much so that I've said, I'm going to do more of that on a weekly basis. Because when I woke up today, the stuff I had to do from 2 weeks ago is still there, but I've knocked some of it out. But I felt very clear. And I'm a supporter of people resting, taking a nap, but sometimes I could be an advocate for something and not do it. That was one of those. Like, yeah, you got to rest. It's a spiritual practice, but I got things to do. I got to be on the computer typing. But I just realized how listening to my body and getting the rest that it needs would actually help me be more effective as I move forward. So
Yeah,
rather than trying to chase last week, I could be here.
yeah. But it's something when you say you're going to do something, and even when you write it down and you set an intention, and at least this is part of my journey. This,
Mm-hmm.
is that I set an intention and I will do it. You
Yeah.
know, one day,
I
and
didn't
then
see that one
or
coming.
2 days, and then it looks like something just jumps in there. Something
Yeah.
jumps in there, and then I'm doing the old pattern again, and so then
Mm-hmm.
I have to, and then so I've been looking at the way my mind works, and then I kind of forgave myself, just not that I was beating myself up, but I was observing myself and my pattern. I got my little book, my planner, and what how I'm working with my plan. I love my planner, by the way, and it helps me so much. And if I write in there that I'm going to restore, I got more rest in January than I have received, but the last 2 nights I've rested really well. You know why? Because I got my bed back. I'm back in my bedroom. Like for months, I've been not in my bedroom, not in my bed. And I had to do a lot to restore the energy in that bedroom and to really be ready to sleep in the bed again. Like a lot of changes are happening in my life, in my home, a lot of stuff moving out, a lot of, it's just like a refresh. But in that refreshing is a lot of decluttering and giving away things, moving things out, and a lot of emotions,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. You think you finished, and then you open up a cupboard and there's a beauty. There's some, So I'm learning a lot about to balance in all of this change. Like we're all learning at this time as things are changing. So we're learning. We're finding out we're discovering who are we in this time, not who are we last. I mean, we already know the tools. We know that we're made in the image and likeness of God. We already know that. But I'm talking about in your personal awareness when people are dying around you, in your feelings when your mom's has passed, when your marriage has become something else, when your children have left home, or whatever, when when your baby has passed on. It's like, who are you when life happens? When life is more than a scripture verse, you know,
Yes.
it's a scripture lived. It's like you got to get to the place where you like, oh,
Yeah.
I got to learn about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is teaching me, So when those obstructions come and you don't want to, like you say, you should go to sleep, but you're buying into the thing. It's like, why am I overworking? Why am I going on and on when I know that if I rested, I'm going to
Yeah.
be better? And so my brother, Sherlock, that question, we're going to bracket that question. Why am I still doing it? My brother, who has a show called, now he's got his show on B Radio at 6 p.m. on Mondays with Sherlock. Sherlock is kicking butt. He did a great show. He was so good. I was so proud of my brother. His show is really great. So his show, Mondays with Sherlock, where he shares the doxology. That's what he calls it, the doxology.
The
He calls himself the
doxology.
doctor. It's his ology, doxology.
Mm.
And it's the world, according to Sherlock, and it's a beautiful world. But he said this. He said, every good thing stems from an act of love. And every evil or wicked thing stems from an act of selfishness. Right? So I'm thinking, like, if working against yourself is not good, I'm not going to call it evil, but it's like it's living backwards. It's not really for your highest and best when you are going on and you should stop. It's like if every good thing is from an act of, it's from an act of good, of love, and the wicked thing is from an act of selfishness. Say, why are you doing this to yourself? It's because you want to prove, I believe, that you're worthy. You want to prove that you can do
That's
this.
it.
You want to prove that you can do this really good. You want to prove you're going to build this business. You want to prove that you can take care of these details. You want to prove that you finished your to-do list. You want to prove something, so that you can look good. It's for a
Mhm.
selfish reason at the
Yes.
core of it, you know. Whereas you take a deep breath and say, what is it that I'm to be that I'm not already?
That's right.
What is it that I'm to be that what am I to be that I'm not already
Mhm.
now?
Yes.
You give thanks. Just like, hey, thank you, God.
Hmm.
I did my best today and I can pick it up tomorrow.
That's right.
I'm going to take my behind to sleep. And sometimes we've been so addicted to
Yes.
overworking that we can be
Hmm.
going to sleep like this. You know, my
Right.
daughter told me last night, she said, Mommy, you need to go to sleep.
Mm.
I had my pajamas on, so that was really good. But I had a bed to go to sleep in. Hallelujah.
Mm.
No,
Mm.
that was night before last. That was night before last. Last night I went to bed by myself.
Mm.
Yeah, I did a lot of work, way too much,
Mm.
cleaning off sawdust and all kinds of stuff. But eventually I was able to get in a bed. I mean, some people don't even have a bed. It's like, hey, I got a bed. Use it.
Hmm.
Restore.
Yes.
Return. Take care of yourself. And that's what I'm saying for so many of us. You know, so many are asleep in the madness of our conditioning. Come on now, Dorothy James. Check out Dorothy James' show tomorrow night on The Healing, 6 p.m. B Radio. She's on there with healers that can help you go. I learned on her the show tomorrow night. I'm not going to blow it. I'm not going to give the information, Dorothy. I'm not going to do it. But what restores between 11 and 1 o'clock? Go to The Healing tomorrow night and you'll see which organ restores between 11 and 1 a.m. so that you go to sleep.
Which
It's,
time zone are we talking about?
we're talking about whatever time zone you living in. Whatever time zone, Ade.
I can buy myself more time. Okay, Pacific time. Okay, I'm in UK. It's not 11 to 2 yet. I can still do some more work.
But you know what? Anytime's a good time when you're tired and you know when it's time to go
Yes.
to sleep.
Yes.
And
So
so
true.
tonight, if we can just do it
Hmm.
all tonight, let's all agree. Everybody in the thread, let's all agree that we're going to go to sleep tonight. And before we go to sleep, we're going to pray for those people who have a hard time going to sleep.
Mm.
You
Yes.
know, the other
Mm.
night I was like, hey, I was in the bed and my eyes were wide open. I just said, God, could you show me how to go to sleep?
Mm.
And I woke up the next morning, you know, and I slept a long time too, you know, but I'd been up a while. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. I got in the bed. I said, I want to do the right thing. My eyes are wide open. I'm not going to waste all this time. I could be up doing something. It's like, God, can you show me how to go to sleep?
Mhm.
And God showed me how. Hey, let's ask God.
Yes.
Hey, God, just help me here. I need your help. Yeah. Rest your mind. Yeah, Gretchen.
Dorothy asked the question earlier. Well, I don't know if it was a rhetorical question. She said, I wonder if rest is sleep. And as you just mentioned, I think there are people who sleep and don't rest for
Hmm.
whatever reason. And it just makes me think like sometimes we don't necessarily have to sleep to rest, like during the day.
Yeah, I mean
We
those
just,
those those are interesting questions. Rest and living life not under stress is
hmm.
is a way to to in your mind to rest in God. So that you're not worried about outcomes and that kind of thing. It's like, hey, I
Yeah.
rest in God and I say amen. So that's a certain kind of rest. But to
Hmm.
go to sleep and to really have enough time. I mean, sometimes you're in a work. We're learning. And you got nightmares. You got all kinds of night sweats. All kinds of things that you're
Hmm.
working through. Still, you got to go to sleep. You got
Yeah.
to try. You got to walk through it.
Right.
Just
Hmm.
fortify before you go. Have your water at the foot of the bed.
Cheers.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad to have my grandson around who goes like, hydrate,
Isn't it hot? What is it? Hydrate? Hope? What is?
hydrate, homies.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
We're drinking to all that has been downloaded through us and
Yes.
those in the chat room as well.
Yes.
Um, For me, sleep is like a meditation to me. I
Yeah.
love my sleep. I'm grateful that I can sleep when I sleep.
When you
And
sleep.
then, yes. And then sometimes there have been moments where it's, oh, there was this horrible storm last night. Did you hear it? Nope.
Mm-mm.
I hadn't had nothing. I was sleeping.
Well, we
And
go
then,
hard. See, we go hard when we sleep.
yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do. And my dreams, they're like, well, not like, I actually receive messages in my dreams. Um, I stay up late, don't get enough sleep, but when I do, I love it. But
Yeah.
I'm developing a new habit, a new pattern
Yeah,
of
you are.
recognizing my body because I even know when I don't get enough rest, I can feel some pain in my body, and I know exactly my body's saying, "All right, homie, you're pushing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna stay in bed while you're trying to get up, but hey, you can try and
Mm-hmm.
leave."
Mm-hmm.
But last night was is really mind shifting for me. It was a reminder: take care of your body, take care of your
So let's
mind.
all agree. Let's all
Yes.
agree. Deep breaths are intoxicating and put me to sleep. Hey,
Mm.
Pamela Morgan. And somebody, Rosalind said, I can hit the pillow after 9:30 p.m. And what she said, something about, it was so cute. I
She
don't
said,
know
"I
if I
can hit
can.
the pillow after 9:30
And
p.m.
I'm
and
out.
out." I pray for those that
I
have a
pray for those
challenge
who
with
have a challenge with that. But Rosalind, what
that.
time do you get up?
Probably 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's the best time.
Yes.
Excuse me, but I am very, very thankful for
Mm.
our time this evening together and invite us all to. I see you, Kat. I Rest in Thee is a good, 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 good song to anchor in before you close your eyes. Yeah, the music is good. Music is good. Wow, you guys are putting some super comments. Did
Mhm.
Ricky say go hard when she sleeps? No, I said, yeah, I did. But I mean, when we go hard. We go like,
Mhm. We make the most of the sleep. We're
we
not
be
going to
dead.
waste
We
our
be
sleep.
dead when we go to
And then when we wake up, we go, "I rise in God. It's a new day. I'm
yeah,
returning to
yeah,
love."
2 hours later.
No, when I sleep, I mean, yeah. And thankfully, I'm self-employed, so I don't need an alarm. And I love that. And I also can actually program my mind. So
Hmm.
when I go to sleep, I just repeat the time I want to wake up.
Yeah,
And I'm so bad. Sometimes I wake up 30 minutes early. I'm like, no, I got 30 more minutes to go.
yeah,
But
yeah.
really, I could just say it over and over. I just wake up at that time. But
Oh,
yeah, I'm
I'm
going
so
to fall in love with sleeping more now.
yeah, yeah. I want to fall in love with resting and resting in God and
Mm.
saying Amen. I'm just thankful for this time where I get to learn how to relax a little bit more,
Yeah.
how to return inside, how to let go of things that I need to let go of,
Hmm.
and how to be thankful for what I'm learning. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh my gosh, I was going to give away this big bookcase. It was so big. It just was taking up the whole room. I mean, I didn't even choose that bookcase. I came from a retreat and I came home and there was this big bookcase in the living room. I'm going like, what's that? But anyway, those are old days. So I got this big bookcase and I'm thinking like, it's now I can let this bookcase go.
Mhm.
So I had struck a deal with the person that's working on my house, one of the people, and he wanted to buy it for $900. That was when I asked him out 900. He didn't even counter because he knew the furniture is really an
Mhm.
expensive piece of furniture. But I just wanted it to go, right? Well, you didn't take it right away, so that was Friday. Sunday night, I'm looking at that furniture. Monday morning, oh no, Sunday night I looked at it because I'm taking things out because he's going to take it, right? Because he
Mhm.
said he was going to take it. So I'm taking stuff out, and then I'm going like, where am I going to put all this stuff?
The stuff you took out. Like, wait, wait, wait,
stuff,
wait.
the stuff I took out. Where I'm going to put this stuff? So then I realized I was like, well, the stuff that I'm taking out, those are things that need to go. But this is my music library. It would be
Mhm.
a great place for all of my music to go.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful piece, and so we just moved it down closer to the my Fender Rhodes piano, which was also a beautiful gift, and bam, there's my music library.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like There are things that I'm learning about, things about myself, things I'm discovering, colors, paints. It's like it's a new time in my
Yes.
life in the midst of so much tragedy that's going over here and then so much newness with government over there. And, it's just all these conversations. And in the middle of that, I am. In the middle of that, you are. In the middle of that, Ade is, Kiana is, Rosalind is, Lily is, Peggy, Skip is, Quinn. I mean, we're all there,
Yeah.
percolating according to our own unique pattern.
Yes.
And so I just hope that you enjoy your life, to be thankful for what we get to share in a inside of a day and inside of a day.
I was wondering if you're going to catch that. I did. Speaking of Ade, people are telling us the song that they listen to when they're going to bed at night. You see what I did there? They have some, Brenda, my friend, said Genesis. Somebody said Arise in God. There were different songs. Yeah, share the songs you listen to when you go to bed. A lot of people go to bed with Ricky, music wise, that is. Yeah. We're getting ready to wrap this up, to release it. We're not wrapping it up, we're releasing it so it can multiply and be more. Thank you,
Yes.
beautiful people. Thank you,
Hey,
Ricky.
make sure you check out Norman Choza on Friday at 6. It's the Big Six. Big Six. Monday at 6, Mondays with Sherlock. Thursdays at 6, Dorothy James with the healing. Norma Choza, Stepping with Inspiration on Friday evenings. And Skip Jennings is going to be coming on soon with a show, I hope. Dr.
Yeah.
Lori Eanes is going to be coming on with Tidbits for Health. So we're just building a nice platform of wonderful speakers on B Radio. God bless you all. I love you. And I rest in thee. I rest in thee. Giving Grief Meaning. That's Lily's book. My destiny has been fulfilled by you. Fulfilled by you, oh God. And my search is over. And I rest in thee. Every path has led to this moment. Every step I have taken has led me to this higher place. Everything I have ever done has served me to see God's holy face. My destiny, my search is over, and I rest in thee. Thank you, Coach Ade. I rest in thee. My search is over, and I rest in thee. Life Coach Ade, thank you.
Thank you.